They say the city never sleeps, but on the night everything changed, Lagos seemed to hold its breath. The air was heavy with humility and possibility, neon lights reflecting against glass towers, traffic crawling like restless thoughts beneath the bridges. One stolen kiss. One reckless decision. That was all it took to unravel the careful life Layla had built. Have you ever wanted something so badly that you silenced every warning voice inside you? That is how it began. Layla was 28, a rising marketing executive in the heart of Lagos, where ambition moved faster than Danfo buses and success was the only acceptable excuse for exhaustion. She had carved her path through long nights, sharp presentations, and relentless competition. In a city that respected strength, she had learned to depend on no one but herself. Her apartment overlooked the lagoon, a quiet reward for years of discipline. Yet, even the strongest hearts grow restless at midnight. Success filled her bank account, but it did not warm the other side of her bed. Daniel walked back into her life on a Thursday evening at a corporate networking event in Victoria Island. He was charming, polished, confident, the kind of man who knew how to command a room without raising his voice. And he was married. The gold band on his finger caught the light as easily as his smile caught her breath. They had dated years ago at the University of Lagos, back when love felt uncomplicated and the future seemed obedient to their plans. Life had pulled them apart after graduation. Now, here he stood again, familiar and dangerous. In Africa, marriage is sacred. From childhood, Layla had heard elders warn, do not water a plant in another man's garden. She believed it. She respected it. So why did her heart race when Daniel suggested they meet for dinner just to catch up? Was it nostalgia, curiosity, or something she had buried long ago? Dinner was meant to be harmless. Two old friends revisiting shared memories over grilled fish and soft jazz on a rooftop overlooking the city lights. They spoke about careers, about travel, about how Lagos had changed. Then Daniel spoke about his marriage. He said he felt trapped, misunderstood, unseen. His words came slowly at first, then poured out like rain in the wet season. Layla listened. She should have stopped him. She should have reminded him of boundaries. Instead, she listened. Listening turned into laughter. Laughter softened the edges of caution. The space between them grew smaller. When he reached for her hand, she did not pull away. Have you ever told yourself it was harmless, even as your pulse betrayed you? The night stretched on, and soon they were driving through near-empty streets, city lights blurring like her judgment. He parked near the waterfront, where the breeze carried the scent of salt and secrets. It's just a kiss, he whispered. Just a kiss? What harm could that do? At midnight, beneath the restless Lagos sky, they crossed the line. The kiss was soft at first, almost hesitant, as if both expected the universe to interrupt them. When nothing happened, hesitation dissolved. That single moment of weakness became a door flung wide open, and once certain lines are crossed, they do not redraw themselves. The messages began the next day, casual at first, then intimate. Midnight texts replaced sleep. Hidden calls replaced honesty. They met in quiet apartments and distant restaurants where no familiar faces would appear. Each stolen afternoon felt intoxicating, wrapped in secrecy and urgency. Desire can be thrilling when it hides in shadows, but secrets grow heavy. Guilt began as a whisper. It followed Layla home. It stared back at her in the mirror. When her mother called asking when she would visit, she felt a sting she could not explain. Was this the woman she had been raised to become? Yet every time she tried to pull away, Daniel promised change. He said he would leave his wife. Soon, he insisted. Always soon. Weeks turned into months. Nothing changed, except Layla. She became distracted at work. Her once flawless presentations faltered. Her boss noticed. Her friends noticed. One evening over coffee, her closest friend asked quietly, "Are you sure this is worth it?" Layla had no answer. Deep down, she knew she was investing her heart in a promise built on betrayal. And if he could betray his wife, what protected her from the same fate? Still, she stayed. Because attention can feel like love when loneliness has been loud for too long. Because hope can be addictive. Because walking away requires strength that passion often weakens. The truth arrived without warning. It was close to midnight when her phone vibrated. She smiled, expecting Daniel's name to light the screen. Instead, it was an unknown number. The message was short. I know everything. Her chest tightened. A second message followed. This is Daniel's wife. In that moment, the fantasy collapsed. Desire that once felt powerful suddenly felt small and shameful. The room seemed to shrink around her. She imagined another woman somewhere in the same city, holding the same truth, feeling the same betrayal. Was she in pain, angry, heartbroken? Leila had never allowed herself to picture her as real. Now she could think of nothing else. Daniel called minutes later, then again and again. She watched the screen light up in the darkness. For the first time, she did not answer. What could he possibly say that would repair the damage? That it was complicated? That he was leaving soon? The excuses felt hollow now. She realized something in that silence. She had been waiting for him to choose her, but she had never chosen herself. African wisdom teaches that what is not yours will never truly stay. She understood that now. A relationship built in secrecy would always live in fear. A love that begins with betrayal carries the shadow of its origin. Even if he left his wife, would she ever trust him completely? Or would she always wonder who might be receiving his midnight messages next? With trembling hands, she deleted his number. The ache did not disappear. Walking away hurt more than staying had. But pain is not always a sign of loss. Sometimes it is proof of growth. Days passed, then weeks. She poured her energy back into her career. She reconnected with friends. She visited her parents and listened more carefully to the stories her mother told about respect, dignity, and the quiet strength of restraint. Slowly, peace replaced chaos. Not instantly, not perfectly, but steadily. Sometimes at night, she remembered the thrill of those stolen kisses. Desire is powerful. It can make wrong feel right in the darkness. But character is what remains when the lights turn on. Leila chose to become the woman she would be proud to see in the mirror, even if that choice meant loneliness for a while. The city still does not sleep. Lagos continues to pulse with ambition, temptation, and endless possibility. Somewhere, another woman may be standing on a balcony at midnight, phone in hand, heart racing at a message she knows she should ignore. The question is not whether desire will knock. It always does. The question is, when it does, will you open the door? Because some kisses cost more than they are worth.